Oh, I love to see the stars in you. I love the red hillside in Rome. When I die, won't you carry on down far away in my Blue Ridge Mountain home.
Hello, I'm the Guitar Geek, and I'm here with David, and he's got a Kentucky mandolin. Hi, David.
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Can you tell us a bit more about Kentucky, the company, and everything?
Sure. Well, you came to the right place because we've been making mandolins for a long time, and we've been inspired by some of the best designs ever made throughout history. And so our Kentucky line of mandolins, if you were to go back to 1927, that's kind of where we got our inspiration from, and there was some great designs made by some of the finer American makers, and they're just hard to own, they're hard to afford, hard to find, and I think the idea of giving the traditional vintage sound to someone who wants to play a mandolin, it doesn't have to be expensive. And if you make an instrument right and you know what you're doing, you're going to make a great product that's affordable still, reachable, and give you that sound you want. And so Kentucky was our way of producing a mandolin that was not being really produced well anymore. And what I mean by that was we came to the market in the 70s seeing a need for those instruments that were not considered vintage popular yet, we were looking to make instruments that were found and played on the records we liked, and to do that, yet we had to study the old ones, and so finding good specimens was difficult in those days, but we were able to, and so we tried to put what was in the best ones into something people could buy, and that's what makes Kentucky. So there's a complete range of instruments, A styles and F styles, that depending upon the musical styling you're into or what the tone you're looking for, there's something in there for everyone,
I've been lucky enough to try and play some of them, and we've been trying the different models. They're behind us right here, and I'll add in some shots of that so people can see this. But this is your personal mandolin.
Yeah. Well, okay, we work here at Saga Musical Instruments here at the Messe. So my day job is marketing and artist relations, but when we're not working, we just like to play, and we all play in the company. Everybody that you'll see here is somehow affiliated with the company. The president of the company sings and plays guitar. The product department might play a banjo. Various people within the company play something. It'd be very hard for you to find any other company in all of the Messe that the musicians that are playing at the booth actually work at the booth they're standing at.
I've not seen it before.
Yeah, you won't, and I don't know why that is. I think you can be a businessman and still be passionate about playing music. I mean, if you're not, then it kind of is not. You're missing the whole point of why we even wanted to do this in the beginning. So we're trying to live just the passion that makes us move every day, and if it's whether it's be trying to sell the idea of our Kentucky mandolins being something that's really worth looking at and trying to let people know the story behind the reasons why and the inspiration we got from the traditional, the fountains of where the music came from. If we can tell that story to people and show it that they can do it too, we're going to win. We're going to be successful, and everybody's going to enjoy it. The end consumer's going to have great products to play. They're going to be inspired to play more because it's a great instrument to play. It won't hold them back. It's not something that's going to take away their passion. That's building, For me, I've been playing musical instruments for my whole life, and the passion, it's unstoppable now. I mean, there's no way the guitar geek, you can't stop it. Once you're the geek, you can't stop. And that's the reason we
I did stop for about 3 years when I was about 20.
It probably hurt.
It was the most miserable time of my life.
What did you do with yourself? Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah. I had all this time. But it was, I was in a band and we didn't make it.
Yeah.
And then that hit home really hard.
Yeah.
And I thought it was the music that was the problem.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
Yeah.
And as soon as I brought the music back into my life, happy again.
Right. And I guess that's the thing that you learned in that, and I learned it every day, is that, you know, I may come here and play in front of a bunch of people and they may say to me, oh, you're a professional musician. I'm not. And I'm in business because I'm not, you know. I realize that there's great players at all levels, and that's fine because there's parts for all of us to do in this. And so, you know, the idea that you came back to music, you probably realized that, you know what, it's not for the money we do this. You know, if it was, we'd all be poor. Well, we are anyway, but you know, we'd drive better cars than the instruments we own then if we had more money, you know.
That's right.
Now it's the other way around, you know. We drive you know, $5,000 cars and play $10,000 instruments, you know, because that's what matters. No, I'm kidding.
Someone came to my studio recently and they said, you know, if you sold all these guitars, you could buy a really nice car.
Yeah, heck yeah. Well, but why? It just drives me here to there, and all I'm thinking about is the guitar that I left from here to there, or the mandolin. So, no, I think, let's be real, balance is key, balance is good. So the idea of being able to balance your passion with your job or your family or bringing enjoyment to those areas, it's really not as hard as people think to play an instrument. So why wouldn't you want to have that chance, you know? And the advice I'd give to everybody, not to go off topic here totally, is that don't be dismayed by playing. If you get an instrument and it's not working for you, you know, it's probably not you. It might be the instrument, you know, so don't be dismayed, you know. What we try to do is make it so that you don't worry about the difficulty of playing. Just get it and start, you know. But it's not always the case with instruments that you buy. So you really want to play with them, try them, feel them, and then know when you're struck by something that's the one. But don't sacrifice anything. You know, if it sounds good and it's affordable, that's the best thing you can get, you know. It doesn't need to be a brand. I mean, heck, this you're maybe going to be shocked, but I really want you to buy a Kentucky, but I almost don't really care as long as you buy a mandolin, you know, because someday you're going to look at a Kentucky and you're going to say, wow, I'm ready for that after what I just learned on. I get it. I've learned the process. I understand the voodoo behind it all. I'm going to now get the Kentucky. So somehow, some way, it happens. And so, like I said, I don't mind any brand you play as long as you play, because somehow we're going to meet. And it might be on the stage that's behind you and we just want to pick one for fun, or it might be me watching you somehow because you finally arrived, you know. One way or another, it's just all good for everybody, you know. Playing at any level, whatever you get. Now, I just hope it's a Kentucky, and any number of them, or a Blue Ridge guitar, or any of the other products we do, because you're going to enjoy your music more, I think, you know.
Yeah, I've been talking to so many companies that are trying to make sure that beginners do not get put off by the instruments, because that's the first hurdle. I mean, holding an instrument like this, be it a guitar, mandolin, banjo, it feels weird, that first moment.
Foreign, for sure.
Totally weird.
For sure. One of the things that I tell people that's kind of, may seem silly, is just hold it, sit with it for a while. Yeah. Just
sit, watch TV or read a book or something.
Just whatever, just till you get a feeling for how your hand needs to wrap on the neck, or because, you know, playing an instrument, if you're not used to, you're putting your wrist in a position that maybe is not the normal one that you're used to. But ultimately in time, excuse me, I've been singing a lot. Ultimately in time, there's a comfort and a familiarity and a muscle memory that occurs, so that once you start to, you're holding this thing, and then one day all of a sudden, hey, I'm making chords now, you know, and like, whoa, I can make another chord. I got 2 chords, you know. I got 3 chords, you know, and that's it. Then it's 4, and then it's 5, and then beyond that, I don't know any more chords. But
that's all you need.
That's all you need. All I need is 3.
That's one more than I know.
Yeah,
so.
see, so we're good. But if you can have fun making just 3 chords, just imagine what you can do if you get 4 or 5 or 6 in there. The world's your oyster, you know. And all it takes is just sitting down, and don't be afraid. Everybody can play an instrument. Start with a uke, get to the mandolins. Start with, how about this? Play a violin, and then come to the mandolin, because they're tuned the same.
I did violin first.
So that maybe
helped
you.
I snapped the string and got so scared it went in my face, and I never went back again.
See, you were dismayed by the instrument.
Exactly.
You almost didn't stick around, but no. You stuck it out because you knew that the passion was too strong. You couldn't fight it. Can't.
Well, I accidentally went to drums, and
Hey, well,
then bass, and I finally made it to guitar. And one day, I will make it all the way to the top to mandolin.
No, you're closer than you think. The way it worked for me was I play guitar, but like one lunchtime at the office, we need a mandolin player. David, play mandolin. Okay, so play mandolin. So
Sounds like my story.
that's how fast, and so you got to get on quick, or the train's gonna pass you by.
So say yes.
Yes, just do it because you won't regret it. It might be challenging, but you know what? That's where the fun begins. You learn the most. You know that when you play with friends, when you play with anybody, when you jump in the water and you just say, "Boom! I left the life preserver on the shore." Boom! Jumping right in. Look, it's 3 chords. I'm joking.
That
in a
feeling
sense.
you get when that magic happens.
Yeah.
It's irreplaceable.
Yeah, and lucky enough, in this style, this form of music of bluegrass, and I'm being specific now, it's like when people hear it, it's like shaking a tree and then they fall out on the ground, and then all of a sudden people are here and they're like, wow, it's like Peter Piper called me. I heard this sound, this music, because it's not just really from America. Actually, it came from here, it came from England, it came from Scotland, it came from everywhere, and it got to America, and then they jumbled it up, squeezed it all together. It was deep in the darkest mountains, in hillbilly country. They formed it, that traditional music, into something that now was American folk traditional music or old-timey music. So I think the real cool thing is when we come here and do this, is that the people walking around here, they hear something that's familiar, but they don't exactly know why.
What about the resurgence of bluegrass with bands like Mumford & Sons that have been popular recently?
Well, I think that goes right back to what I was saying, that it's in all forms of music already, and I think people, they're looking for more of the story. They want to immerse themselves into something. When you get into music, sometimes it's definitely not surface level. Music is very deep, and like I'm saying here, bluegrass is about as deep as it gets. And so the young people right now are kind of, there's a nostalgia thing happening. There's this folk revival thing that's happening, that's merging pop and folk together, which is another form of the music taking shape right before our eyes, right?
Well, that's it. Sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, when I was sleeping, I thought I held you in my arms. When I awoke, dear, I was mistaken, and now I've taken all my charms. London solo? Sunshine, my only sunshine. You
Here it
you.
is, right here. We are guitar and mandolin geeks.
I need a new T-shirt.
Yeah, I need one of those geek T-shirts. I'll walk around being a geek without the shirt. I'm happy to do it.
Thank you, David.
Hey, thank you for the opportunity to talk to you.
No worries.
Thank you all for letting us do that.
So that's me, the guitar geek. That's me, the guitar and mandolin geek.
Yes,
With David at Kentucky and Saga Music, including Blue Ridge.
yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye. That was great, man.
Thank you.
Pleasure
really
mine.
good
I
fun.
appreciate you wanting to do that.
No
It's
worries.
fun for me. It's just hanging out, having a great time, and
That's what it's
telling
about.
the story why we do it. I mean,
Yeah.
And I'm not selling. It's just we're passionate.